Greetings, everybody. I'm George Lane. I'm a co-film festival director for PopCon International Film Festival.
And I'm Audrey Lane. I am the other co-director of the film festival. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for having us.
So are you guys excited? What have you been doing today before your film played?
It was a little difficult to hear what you just said because I think there was a delay on yours and George's.
And I am like technology kryptonite, so if there's something to be wrong right now, it'll be on my mic probably. But actually, it kind of sounds okay now. Do I sound
think so.
fine?
Yeah, you sound much better now.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. I think because George, it's like too much echo, but it's great. So what have you guys been doing? Have you been able to poke around the film fest or anything? And not just the film fest, but the convention and see the panels and all the things that are there?
Yeah. Absolutely. Sorry.
Awesome. Fun. I just want to make sure you can maneuver around because it's like you're trying to watch the film fest and do other things. So it's just like pop in, pop out. So Jenna, let's start with you. Maggie B was a very fun film. And I like the adventure. You guys all kind of, it was nice to put you all in a block with that kind of adventure theme and all this action. So tell us what was the concept? What brought Maggie B to life?
Totally. A lot of different things kind of came together for that idea. There was obviously like just the sort of the stigma for girls doing math and science was something I've always been really passionate about. And like, I've always been a big support of like girls in STEM and like, you know, inspiring girls to like get out there and do things and experiment and just go for it. So that was, I knew I wanted to like start with that. But I'm such a geek. I love Star Wars. And I knew I wanted to like sort of like bring that in. And if I could bring history in too, then I researched all about like Reagan's Star Wars project in the 80s with the satellites and the missiles, and that it all just came together. It was like so many different parts, so many different things in my life that I really love just sort of came together with that one. So it was really fun to make.
Awesome. And you made it here in Indiana, correct?
Yes, I did, in my hometown, Bluffton, Indiana. I went to school in New York at NYU, and we drove a crew out back to Bluffton, and all the actors were local. They're all from Indiana. So that was really, it was really awesome to like two worlds colliding with that.
Awesome. Thank you. And Eamon and Nicholas, tell us what each of you did with this project, like what your roles were. We'll start with you, Eamon.
Yeah, so Nick and I were directed and produced this project. It was in collaboration with Ball State University and WIPB, which is the PBS affiliate up in Muncie. And so we worked really closely with them to pull this all together. But like we were the masterminds behind the whole thing.
Yeah, we basically for about 2 years we had this concept and we just wanted a place to be able to do it. And we got the chance to do it through Ball State and WIPB. So we wrote it, directed it, produced it, edited it on our laptops when we should have been editing on nice computers in the university because it was shut down.
Gotcha.
So it was a very hard and unique process, I think, to kind of see this from beginning to end. But I think it turned out really well, and I'm happy, very happy with how it turned out.
So I understand where the idea came from, as far as like kind of that ode to old sci-fi movies. And it's funny because each of these type of movies you can find in each generation. There'll always be kind of like some variation of it. What made you do it exactly like this? What were you going for? Were you going for just like space cowboy action? And
I think we were kind of drawn to 60s sci-fi because it was kind of the last bastion of like analog science fiction kind of stories. And it's like, I just love sometimes like how goofy old Star Trek or Lost in Space and Doctor Who kind of is. And like, there's just this certain like self-awareness and cheesiness that a lot of science fiction today doesn't have. So we really kind of wanted to play into those tropes as best we could.
Nice. All right. Jenna, I have a question. With as far as, the kids and the heart of that remind me of one of our favorite movies is The Sandlot, but and just fun kid movies. Did you have any hurdles like dealing with such a young cast, and what were they?
Yeah, I mean, working with kids is a challenge in and of itself. There are a lot of like rules you have to follow with like times you can shoot and such. So we were like working in very specific hours. We couldn't just shoot all night and like hope we get everything. We had to like come back another night and try again. But it was really fun, and they're not professional actors is the other thing. So it's a completely different process working with kids who are actors and then kids who are just kids. And I think that was probably the best part about Maggie B was they're just like truly authentic Indiana kids running around, and it was such a blast to work with them, and they just brought so much of their own personalities to their characters.
Cool. If since they weren't actors, where did you find your performers?
So I just put up casting calls in my hometown and just talked to everybody, and we all eventually found each other. Yeah, Maggie B is actually my grandparents' neighbor, so just small town things.
Oh, that's awesome.
You would never be able to know.
They were great.
Thank you. Yeah, they really just amazed me.
Sorry, we're trying to communicate here without causing too much lag. Okay, so you, Eamon and Nicholas, your sets, were they a bunch of different sets or one set that you kept changing, like the scene in there, like a hot box? Not a hot box. It's like the one set thing, and then they keep altering.
It was kind of a mix. It was kind of a mix of that. For the ship. We built all these flats and platforms to have as the background, and we would just rearrange them when we needed to shoot the other side of the ship and put them in different things like that. And then, for example, when they're in the small like hut with all the leaves on the walls, we just put tarps over the flats and sets that we already made, because we were given a budget from Ball State, which was wonderful, but it wasn't a lot, so we wanted to make sure that we could have our thing looking as unique and like authentically cheap as possible.
So we can say that I'm sorry, Eamon, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it was really kind of a juggling act trying to organize when we were going to shoot stuff. When like we would film everything from one angle of the ship on one day, and then the next day we like flip all the flats around and flip the set pieces around and film as if that was the other half of the same room.
Yeah, so we'd have to go through the entire script in one day from one angle and the entire script again on the next day.
So would you say the biggest challenge maybe of this was the utilization of the funds you had? Is there something that you really wanted to do but were limited because of finances or time?
I know, like, I can speak for myself. I wanted to really try and find a practical location to film for like the temple, but really like we couldn't find a place that we thought looked quite where we wanted it to, and to like find some other spaces that could fit the bill, we'd have to like pay for a lot of set dressing and props and stuff that we really didn't have the time or money for. So we ended up filming the whole thing in front of the green screen, and then we built this little cardboard miniature set in our living room, and we like took my camera down and like recreated like some of the camera movements that we did on set and composited it in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think when it comes to the money, we wrote something that we wanted to look, for lack of a better word, cheap, because we felt like it would accurately like sell the fact that it was from the 60s and not given a lot of money from their PBS station, like the story within the story. So we kind of wrote something that we knew we would be able to achieve. So aside from the practical location for that last scene, there wasn't really much that we wanted to do that we weren't able to.
Okay. And Jenna, if I could ask you pretty much the same kind of question is, was there anything that limited you, from either time or budget or anything like that with the movie that you wanted to do? Or is this pretty much, solid what your whole plan was of putting this together?
I mean, I'm definitely happy with how it all came together, but we only had about 4 days in Indiana with the whole crew. So it was stressful to get it all in under that time constraint. As far as budget goes, we were able to raise some funds beforehand that certainly helped. And then for post-production, my film professor helped us get a grant. So that really just, everything in post just came together professionally. And that was really amazing to see that process through correctly. Yeah.
So we would like to know what each of you is doing next. Eamon and Nicholas, I don't know if you're doing something together, but if you want to tell everybody about any projects you've got coming up, Eamon, we'll start with you.
Sure. Nick and I are, we're both local to Indianapolis now. We're working on producing some original sketch comedy content for YouTube in the near future. We're in the process of starting our own production company here in town as well. So we're really just trying to stay active in that sense. We both have a background in writing comedy and writing sketch comedy. So this is really our wheelhouse. And we just want to have this kind of creative outlet while we're both kind of navigating an industry that's kind of in the toilet right now.
Yeah.
But
the rise of the indie filmmaker, man, the rise of the indie filmmaker.
Exactly. And for real, we can't thank you enough for providing filmmakers like me and Nick and Jenna and everybody else with a platform like this during a time when so many in-person events get canceled.
Yeah, we're trying. We're here for you. This is the best part of this job, is making sure that the films get out to people so they can watch and they can see all the talent. And inadvertently, we'll say this: we did not expect to get so many submissions from Indiana. It was crazy. I mean, we were blown away. And if they weren't from Indiana, some had Indiana ties. And I think that has a lot to do with PopCon being such a force in this convention industry, that the inaugural film fest had so many people that just love PopCon and we're like, hey, they're doing a film fest, so we got to get into it. So we want to thank you guys also, because it makes us feel good that we can bring movies to the masses, but also showcase that talent in Indiana. So Jenna, tell us what you've got going on.
Sure. I'm actually working on writing a series based on Maggie B's life, trying to get some more creative juices with that. I also work in post-production, so I'm editing all the time. So trying to keep busy with this industry.
Yeah. Awesome. And where would anybody be able to find you guys to be updated on what you have going on, like social media, anything like that?
For Eamon and I guess so. We have Twitter and social media handles for our show, but we haven't started making content yet. But it's called So Far So Good. So let me look it up real quick. I don't know exactly what the handles are.
We're still in the early pre-production phases. We're meeting with we have a hand-picked group of writers that are all good friends of ours who we've all worked with
from all around the country, which is nice too. So but I think it's just So Far So Good Show on Twitter and Instagram.
Okay, cool. Everybody check them out. Jenna, is there somewhere where anybody can get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'm Good Job Jenny on both Instagram and YouTube. Trying to put out some content on YouTube every now and then, and also Instagram. So
nice. That'd be great to see Maggie B out there and going on further adventures. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Thank you all so much for attending, and we really appreciate it. And thank you for giving us your films to show.
Of course, we
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
for having us.
And make sure that you guys, if you can, pop in and out throughout the weekend, support the other filmmakers. You might see something you really like, or someone you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we had Andrew Haas, who was in the last block. We've known him since college. He made the puppet for us for our
For
film.
our film, yeah.
He told us that too, and we're like, oh wow, cool. Love that connection. So this is how it starts. You meet people, you work together. You're in the same circles now. Everyone is getting acquainted from all over the states and different countries. So that's pretty awesome.
And Mayor Carl was in our film as well as as a extra in the background. He had one featured line, which was a lot of fun as well to have that.
He did. That was pretty awesome. I love it. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'm sure we'll interact throughout the weekend. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, talk soon, everyone.